In this video, I'll tell you how to systematically work with your fear of public speaking, how to reduce that level of tension, and on the contrary, how to build up confidence when speaking in front of an audience. There are 3 areas you need to work on. The first is experience. You need to know how to accumulate it. There are 2 types of experience, quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative experience is when we do something over and over again, start to get used to it, and it becomes comfortable for us. For example, on your first day at a new job, you're probably nervous. How will people perceive you? Will everything work out? Will you feel comfortable? But by the 100th day, it becomes so familiar that there's absolutely no anxiety anymore. It's the same with public speaking. You need to speak in public more often. And let's think together about what processes you can add to your life to increase your quantitative experience. First, you can speak more often at company meetings, gatherings, or various events. Second, you can sign up for external events and activities as a speaker and present at conferences. If you're still afraid to speak at professional events, you can start with simpler ones or even present in front of students. Third, you can start giving lectures or holding webinars within your company or at universities your company partners with. Fourth, you can join an external public speaking club, which exists out there, or create your own public speaking club within your company. Or maybe your company already has a public speaking club, and you just don't know about it yet. Be sure to check and join if there is one. Fourth, you can start expressing your opinion more often at gatherings or various events. And of course, don't forget to give congratulatory speeches more often during holidays. In fact, be the first one to give any kind of toast or speech at any gathering or ceremony. Basically, your goal is to increase the number of times you speak so you can get used to this format. The second type of experience is qualitative. When you don't have time to prepare, when you don't have time to build up a lot of experience, you start to work on the quality of your experience. Qualitative experience is when you understand the rules of the game called public speaking. Let's say you've been asked to speak at an international conference in English, representing your company. You don't have much time. How do you gain qualitative experience? How do you figure out the rules of the game called speaking at major international conferences? Well, first of all, you should talk to the organizers, get a sense of how people present there, what they do, what the audience responds to, and what doesn't work. Second, watch video recordings of different speakers at similar events to see what they do well and effectively, and which aspects don't come across as well. Third, you can work with a mentor. This could be a senior colleague who helps you prepare. It could also be a coach whom you can turn to for help getting ready for your presentation. Fourth, record your rehearsals on video, watch them, analyze, work on your mistakes, and improve yourself with each new rehearsal. Even this small set of actions will significantly strengthen you. You'll understand the rules of the game and be well prepared. The next part of our systematic work on fear and anxiety is thorough preparation. What can I say here? It's worth preparing in advance. Speakers at conferences, for example, usually start preparing a month or 2 weeks ahead, but definitely no later than 10 days before the event. Putting off preparation until the last minute is a losing game. Secondly, you absolutely need to rehearse your speech out loud. When you rehearse your presentation, all your thoughts in your head and all your talking points on paper start to sync up with your speech apparatus. And with each new rehearsal, you realize, it's working. The speech is flowing just as it should. And at that moment, you calm down. Of course, there's also the psychological preparation of yourself. When you've had a good night's sleep before an important presentation, when you don't overload yourself with coffee that leaves you a bit jittery, when you engage with content that energizes you instead of, on the contrary, frustrating you. It's a bad idea to watch anxiety-inducing news or deal with personal problems right before your presentation. It's best to listen to some pleasant music before your presentation, or look at photos where you felt your absolute best. Sometimes I call my wife so she can give me some important words or comments to calm me down before an important presentation. Preparation isn't just about the content, but also about your mindset. Sometimes it's even helpful to chat with people in your audience before the presentation starts, while there's still a break or everyone is gathering, just to realize that everything is safe, the people are nice, reasonable, and ready to listen to you. The third area of systematic work is working on your mindset, psychological work on yourself. Here, it's really important to understand what you're actually afraid of. What's the worst thing that could happen to you during your presentation? What consequence of public speaking scares you the most? And here, different ideas come up. Some people are afraid that others will laugh at them. Some are afraid they won't manage, that they won't achieve their goals. Let me tell you this. It's really helpful to take all of this to a psychologist and work through it with them. Because often, public speaking is just a trigger situation that exposes our inner trauma, which could have happened in childhood, during adolescence, or is even connected to our upbringing. And another thing that can help here from a psychological perspective is having the right mindset and attitude toward public speaking. For example, instead of going out in front of the audience thinking, I have to be a super expert and show myself off as impressively as possible, you can approach the audience with a mindset. My goal today is to create value for them, and I'll do my best for them. Or you can go out with the attitude. I'm not really giving a speech right now. I'm just going to chat with people, share, and talk about our company's experience. Or that my goal isn't to give a perfect presentation. Today, my goal is to be as helpful as possible to the audience and get them interested in the method we'll be talking about. When you let go of the role of a public speaker and just come out as a person in front of other people, it becomes much easier to speak in public. So, here are 3 areas you should work on. Experience, preparation of your material and your mindset, your state and attitude, and working through your fear psychologically. Try to pursue all 3 of these paths. I'm sure you'll discover a lot for yourself along the way. And to really lock in the skill, I invite you to join my Telegram channel. Subscribe. There you'll find plenty of extra tips and recommendations on how to strengthen your skills and, for sure, speak confidently in front of an audience.